Harley-Davidson motorcycle is so valuable, it is sealed in a glass box in a museum. Harley-Davidson won't even guess at the value of its serial number 1, but it's probably worth millions. The 1903 from Ridley Motorcycles is for people who want to fake the experience of riding that 106-year-old machine and do it for $2,500. The 1903 is a motorized bicycle pieced together from parts from different places. The bicycle itself is built by Felt, which is based in Lake Forest, California. The motor is added to the bike by Ridley in Oklahoma. The frame of the bicycle was modified so that the backbone right here was sealed off in order to be able to hold the fuel. Because this bicycle frame was never meant to hold fuel, it only holds 75 ounces. And billet gas cap is small, which is complementary to the overall proportions of the bike. But that has another reason, and that's basically that you don't want to pull up to a gas station and just stick the nozzle from the gas pump right in there. It's not going to fit, first of all. And second of all, this is a two-stroke that needs you to mix gas and two-stroke oil. The 1903 is mimicking the look of the serial number 1, but not the performance of it. One thing that is thankfully retro rather than vintage is the suspension. The only suspension on the original Harley-Davidson was springs under the seat. For the 1903, there's also a leaf spring front suspension. So it's not nearly as painful to ride over bumps. In true vintage fashion, there is no starter on this bike. You gotta pedal and pop the clutch. There are no gears. There's no neutral on this bike because there's no transmission. So if you want to ride this as a bicycle, you just push this in and then you can ride it without having to bust your left hand. It's obviously really cool to look at. It's fun to ride, but it is not the safest machine. There's throttle, but no brake. The way that you brake this bicycle is coaster style. It's just like a regular old school bicycle. You just push back. It's sometimes good that a bike doesn't go that fast. In this case, the 1903 maxes out at 25 miles per hour. But it's hard to know because there are no instruments. The similarities between the Ridley 1903 and the Harley-Davidson serial number 1 are not very many. The white rubber tires, the bicycliness of it, and you've also got Harley-Davidson colors, black and orange. The first Harley-Davidson was a single, not a V-twin, but it wasn't a two-stroke. I used a system called total loss oiling, so the gas and the oil were both separate. The tank was also in 2 parts, and it was strapped onto the frame. This bike is for people who like a styly ride, but it's really hard to go anywhere without just tons of attention. If you ride this bike, you better get used to this. For the Los Angeles Times, I'm Susan Carpenter.